What's up, guys? Welcome back to Daily Action Figure Reviews here on Economist Prime. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to take a look at an item that is actually too big for my review table. So we are going to use my old review table. What are we going to take a look at? Well, let's get an idea of what we're going to look at. Yes, the Universe Origins CASTLE GRAYSKUll. So we're going to see if I can do this. Let's get to it. Guys, here we go. This is going to be a different type of review. We're going to pretty much freehand this entire video, honestly. I've got this on my old review table back when we were doing reviews over here. So this is going to be an interesting little review. Of course, this is the Masters of the Universe Origins CASTLE GRAYSKUll. This is actually not even my toy anymore. This is my son and daughter's toy. They play with this. I don't have room for it. As you guys can see, you guys have seen my collection. You know where I'm at. It's not a good place. But let's go ahead and get a good look here at CASTLE GRAYSKUll. I'm going to try to do this fairly easily. Let's take a look at it. Obviously, this is a big play set. We're going to go ahead and bring in an origin figure here. Get an idea of the size of this thing. It's obviously huge. So we know that. We'll bring some more figures in here when we do the accessory portion, but let's take a look at some of the details. We're going to start from the top, work our way down. Of course, it does come with the cannons, which I like a lot. You can put a figure up on that platform to control the cannons, so that's cool. Cast in mostly orange and a grayish, I guess it's grayish, light gray. You can actually put a figure back there, so that's cool. You also get the flag here, which looks really nice. Stickers are kind of coming off. These stickers are super cheap, plus they've had a 9 and 7-year-old mess with them, so that's never good. There is some nice detailing on the boards that I want to point out to you guys too. It's a good gray and looks pretty good. I mean, I think everyone's probably had a CASTLE GRAYSKUll at one point in time or another, but one thing that I want to really address is the plastic quality of this. This plastic quality is nowhere near as good as what I remember in the 80s was really a hard shell, darker kind of green plastic. This gives me a much lighter tone of green, which I'm not the happiest about. There is good detail. I do believe this is the original mold, but as we go up and down this thing and take a look, there is some decent detail. A wash on this thing would really help it out. Obviously, the skull itself looks good. The door looks good too. But if we just had some more paint, I think it would really make this thing pop in the long run. Good detailing, as I mentioned before, throughout most of the castle. And then on the back, we get some darker blacks, and it's mostly just green rocks. I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at here in terms of this thing. So it's all right. The sculpt's pretty good, but again, this is from what I know, an original mold. So overall, I think it really works for what you're wanting. The whole reason I got this was to put with my Masterverse figures, but let's go ahead and we'll go over to the Masterverse section since we're just filming and kind of weaning this. Let's grab old Fisto here, who you will see in this little series soon. These don't really work very well with this. As you can tell, it doesn't work out super great. They're way too big. So if you're thinking, yeah, I can get a CASTLE GRAYSKUll, yeah, I can put my Masterverse figures, you really can't. I mean, he wouldn't even fit in there. So, all right, that's our look at the outside of CASTLE GRAYSKUll. Let's go ahead, open it up, and I'll give you guys a tour of the inside. All right, we have some play features here, which is nice too. Before we get to those, let's get a look at some of this. Now, keep in mind, I did not put all the stickers on this when I got this. My intent with my CASTLE GRAYSKUll was to never have it open like this at all. It was to always have it closed and just have figures standing in front of it. So there is supposed to be a sticker here on this panel. I don't have that on, but it is what it is. That is a little control panel, which is cool. Again, we get a lot of the wood grain. I wish we had like some silver on there. I wish there was just more detail on this thing. I think that's what we're really lacking on this, but it is what it is. We also have an orange platform here too, which is controlled by this little string. Pull it up and down, kind of a working elevator. Again, there's some decent sculpt work in there, but it's just, I mean, it's made for kids, and you can tell it's made for kids. Also, that really doesn't stay up very well. You kind of need to tie it down a little bit, but it is cool. And as you can see, it goes down by itself. So there is that. I think with this set, they really relied on stickers, kind of like the original did, to really make up for the lack of detail. Over here on the other side, we'll kind of bring it over a little bit. Spin it out. There's a throne. We'll show you what the throne does in a minute here. Also got the flag and the gun. The shooter, the gun guy, would stand there to control the gun. So there is that. We also have the flag, of course, and then there is a nice little kind of Skeletor flag going on there too. Also got an interesting little rug. It looks like a monster with an eye, so that's cool. Another control panel. And then as we go down below here, we have a bunch of monsters in that pit. And there is the front gate to Castle Grayskull itself, which does open just like that. So there you go. Opens just fine with no issues. This has another action feature that we have. The throne actually, when turned, will release the trap door. Let's see if we can, there we go. Opens the trap door. There's a little hinge back here that it unlocks, and you can have Skeletor sitting in here, unlock the trap door, and they'll fall into the pit of monsters. So not bad. Again, you can tell by plastic quality and stuff, this is made for kids. Obviously, toys are made for kids. Get out of town if you don't believe that. But you know, I mean, overall, I think they did a good job. I think plastic quality is not quite as good as it was on the earlier versions. But again, this thing set me back 80 bucks, and I think it's going for a lot more now. So if you got one, and there was a lot of clearances too. So if you got one, consider yourself very lucky, because it is a little bit tougher playset to find for this one. Obviously, this is one of the most easy to find playsets out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at some accessories. All right, in terms of accessories, we do get quite a bit here. I may be missing some, or my son might be missing some, considering he's played with it the most, but we'll look at them one at a time here. So you've got kind of this battering ram. This thing, pretty much all it does is turn, so you can have your figures go ahead and turn it. It's got kind of a nice warthog looking sculpt to it, as well as a fist. So there's that. The feet, really not a lot of detail. It is kind of a cheaper orange plastic, and then this is just basically just pressed on to that. This part right here, the top, is fairly heavy, so that is nice there. That is a heavier plastic. So you get that. You also get this weapons rack here that can store clubs, swords, guns, all kinds of stuff. So that's nice. And again, we get the wood grain material there, and just not a lot of detail at all. We also get this ladder that can be connected up to where the throne is there. So a nice ladder. Again, same kind of deal as you guys have heard me say this whole review. Not a lot of detail. Just not much. But that is a pretty tall ladder. This ladder is pushing about 8-9 inches tall. So that is nice to see that, and makes for some more playability. We also have another weapons rack next to Sorceress here with an axe, more storage for more weapons for whoever you may have. And then lastly, we have the Sorceress herself. Now, I do not have the staff for this figure. My daughter lost it, but it is what it is. So there's the Sorceress, very plain looking figure, mostly just white and a little bit of transparent feathers there. Standard articulation for a Master's Origin figure, but you do get this figure with it. I wish we got one that had some more color and a little more detail to it, but that is what you get with this play set. Again, not bad. Her wings do move up, as you can see here. I'm trying to do this with one hand, but they do move, so those are articulated. And then she has basic articulation for a Master's Origin figure. So that is all the accessories that you get with Castle Grayskull. Let's go ahead and get a couple of figures in here. We'll give you guys some final thoughts. All right, I think really there is a good amount of playability with this set. Again, you can have figures on the elevator, you can have figures up on these towers here, and then again, controlling the gun and up here by the flag as well. So I think there's some good value here. I don't know if there's enough to warrant $80 to $100, but it is what it is in today's market. We do have a lot of accessories that I went over that it comes with, and it does come with a Sorceress Motu Origins figure, which will set you back almost 20 bucks nowadays anyway. So pretty happy with this. I think it's a good set. I think it looks good. And then as we come around to the front again, we really do have some nice sculpt work with the bricks, the opening trapdoor, and the skull, of course, is really kind of the money shot. So There you go, guys. Castle Grayskull from Motu Origins. Really a cool play set. Gonna set you back a little bit of money and is very large. So good luck trying to find a place for it. But overall, I like it a lot. I think it's worth the money that they're asking. So I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8 out of 10. Very nice. You got a lot of playability here, and I think it looks good. Hope you guys enjoyed the review. If you did, comment, like, subscribe, and we will see you guys on the next one.